welcome back to the Director's Garage. Now, I'm your host and resident idiot, Michael, because who else would be here? And I'm sporting the CBGB shirt today. Check this out. Now, CBGB was a club in New York that saw its heyday in the late 1970s and early 1980s as the place to go if you wanted to check out live music in New York. Now, CBGB stood for Country, Bluegrass, and Blues. Those four letters, I just spit, sorry. And underneath it looks like something dirty. It says OMFUG, but it actually stands for Other Music for Uplifting Gormandizers. Now, a gormandizer is someone with a healthy appetite, so you would go there and get your healthy appetite for live music met. CBGB was the place to go in the late 1970s if you wanted to check out the latest and hottest punk and new wave bands. I'm talking about bands like Blondie, Talking Heads, Ramones, the Cramps. They were all discovered at CBGB, and I was too young for that scene because I was only about 10 years old and I was landlocked in suburban Chicago anyway, but it must have been a hell of a place to go for live music. And you can see there's some archival stuff online. You can check it out. The place is gone, but the brand lives on. You can go online and get shirts like this one and other stuff. But it was kind of the antidote for the glam scene of Studio 54, in case you were wondering. It was a bit of a work week for me, but I have one new thing to show you that I picked up, and that's this. Now, this is my SP1000. You can see that it's picking up some lights, but this is an amp that's attached to it. And they made this, Astell Kern A&Ultima made this for this device specifically. You'll see there's a little attachment, a way to lock it in, and then it slides in using the USB-C at the bottom, and then there's a little string of attachment buttons here that connect down here on the bottom of the SP1000. So I picked this up super cheap on eBay, and as you can see, I mean, it practically, or should I say impractically, because it doubles the size and the width and the weight of the SP1000, which is already a considerably heavy device to begin with. But what it does is it gives the SP1000 a lot more power, by quite a bit. And I was running it with the Mezzi Empyreans back here, these guys, and it drove them, whoa, hey, these things swivel. It drove them really well. So I was impressed with that. It's kind of another big dumb guy purchase, but I was curious about what this amp could do, and I've been wanting to find one for quite a while. So let's talk about exactly what it does, okay? First, it more than doubles the battery life of the SP1000, and doubles the weight of the SP1000, which is already, it's not exactly a featherweight to begin with. And on that note alone, it's probably a fail, but technically speaking, the SP1000 alone by itself, without this thing, puts out 2.2 volts RMS, which is about 100 milliwatts or a tenth of a watt unbalanced. Now, plenty of power for most of the IEMs in the world. Out of the 2.5 port on top here, it will run about 3.9 volts RMS, or 300 milliwatts. Now the KN-N8, this guy, will put out 700 milliwatts in high gain mode, which is more than enough to drive any IEM and quite a few over-ear headphones. And that's also where the brother to this, or the wicked stepsister, or the younger brother, the newer, better model, the SP2000 lives. But with this amp right here, when you add this to the equation and you double stack this, it brings the output of the SP1000 up to 2 watts of power. It's kind of cool. It's got a nice locking mechanism so these two parts can't come apart from each other. You just turn this little twisty thing right here and boom, it's locked, and now they won't come apart. So to work it, you have to go to the pull down menu out here, and you slide over and you go to the settings, and then you go down here and you turn the amp on. And what it does is it starts pushing the output out the bottom spigots on this. And you also get a nice little blue indicator to tell you that this thing is actually running. So with this thing engaged, you're getting 2 watts, which is more than enough for the majority of over-ears. It won't drive the abyss or anything, but do I need this thing? Probably not. But it's been on my long-term list of products because if I ever get to travel for work again, the battery life is probably worth it. And that means I can comfortably drive a set of over-ears on the road. It's also a nice portable listening station if I want to take a pair of headphones out into the deck and sit back and grill some stuff and listen to some music. That's fine, it'll work. There are a bunch of situations where this addition is attractive. I'm just struggling to justify the added weight and size to an already large package. But let me give you another perspective on this, and maybe it'll start to make sense to you. You can now pick up an SP1000, the base unit, for about $1,500. Now, that player will run circles around most new players at $1,500. And this amp, I got it for under $500. So for $2,000, you get a dual DAC music source capable of driving all but the highest demanding over-ear headphones. And it's a more compact design than if you were traveling with, say, an external DAC amp tied to your DAP. Because, they do the rubber band things and everything. And this comes with a nice case, too. Check it out. It slides right in, and it holds it all together in one nice form factor. This becomes a really interesting combination when you consider that this thing is capable of playing Tidal. With Tidal and a 2-watt amp and all your music jammed into this beautiful device here, it's formidable. So that's something of a product update. I wanted to catch you up to speed on what's going on here. And I also pulled out the Stax recently, and I was listening to Beethoven's Symphony, the 9th by George Solti and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. It's a great recording. And I also listened to Jazz at the Pawn Shop on these. Now, these genres of music are where the Stax really excels. And I'm not a big fan. I'm still not a big fan of these ear pads and the driver flex. Oh my God, it's horrible on these things. You just move your head a little bit and you get this pop from the driver shifting in and out inside the earphone. And I am still not a fan of this toy-like construction, this cheap plastic parts. They really drive me crazy, but they do make for some outstanding listening. There's no question about that. Now, what gear have you discovered recently? Let me know what you guys have been listening to. Any new music, any old music that you just discovered? Let us know down below. Now, we do have an unboxing for today, and yeah, I know this intro is a bit like, look, squirrel, but today's unboxing is the second in an Audio 46 trilogy. But first, y'all missed my headlines. Well, they're back. Squirrel! Lollapalooza hits the stage in Grant Park in Chicago from July 29th to August 1st. Foo Fighters, Post Malone, and Miley Cyrus are the headliners. Look for some OG acts like Journey, Limp Bizkit, and Jimmy Eat World. I'm a little meh on this one for some reason. I'd like to see a little bit of a stronger lineup, so I'm going to say it's a bit of a miss for me. That said, it's going to be one of the summer's biggest gatherings, and if I still lived in Chicago, yeah, I'd be there. One of Miles Davis's final live performances took place at France's Jazz à Vienne Festival on July 1st, 1991, just months before he died in September. Now, a recording of that set is being released for the first time. Merci Miles Live at Vienne arrives June 25th as a part of Rhino Records' Black Music Month celebration. It features a selection of songs performed that night, including renditions of Prince's Penetration and Jailbait. And those are your headlines for today. And now on to the business at hand, and that is what's in this box right here. I think we all want to know what it is, and I think we also know that there's only one company that knows what's in this package right here. And I think you know what's coming. Yep, it's another blind unboxing from Audio 46. And folks, I think you all got your tax returns or something, because last week we were sitting at like $7,500 in Audio 46 purchases, and you guys just blew that up, because right as of today, we are over $15,000 worth of purchases from Audio 46 from this community. And I gotta think it's because of the discount code Director's Garage. If you click on the affiliate link below and enter the coupon code Director's Garage, all one word, at checkout, you will save 5% on your purchase. Now, I have to be clear, this doesn't apply to every item in the store. There are a few manufacturers who won't work with Audio 46 on pricing. I know that Campfire and Grado will not, and maybe FIO, because one viewer wrote me that the code didn't work on a FIO purchase. But most of the items on the store, the vast majority of the items in the store, will take the discount, and I just think that's awesome. Audio 46 has it all. From Astell Kern to iFi, from Sennheiser to Bowers & Wilkins, Audio 46 is your on-ramp to high-fidelity personal audio. I'm a customer. Maybe victim is more accurate when you get down to it, but whatever. I just love their service. They ship fast and free. If you have a problem, they are all over it. Great guys and a world-class buying experience. I got my Empyreans right back there from Audio 46. Nothing but the very best. And the very best may be what's in this box today. What do you say we check it out? She's the second best killer that I ever have seen. They don't come much more sick than you. I could go on if you want me to. Got that one? That's Flathead by the Fratellis. Great band. One of my very favorite bands in the world. I wonder what they sent us. Are they going to double down like they did last time? That was insane. The way they put 2 items in one box. That was like the biggest trick ever. But who knows? They could be anything in this box. It kind of looks over-eary to me. Doesn't it look like an over-ear? I think it does. Nope. I'm still... Okay, there we go. All right, ready? Are you ready? And... What do we got? Oh, we got a couple of things. They doubled down again. They did another thing here. Look at this. Let's see what we got. We got... these are Strauss and Wagner earphones with a 3.5 connection and mic and remote. And that's paired with Strauss and Wagner earphones.
Holy moly!
Very nice. I don't know much about Strauss and Wagner, I've got to confess. But look, there's a little envelope here. I have a confession to make. A few weeks ago, a company contacted me and said, hey, we saw what you're doing with Audio 46 and we really like it. Can we send some headphones your way through them? I think that's what this is, and I think that's what we're about to find out. Okay, so what they sent us is this. It's a little thank you card, and it says, thank you so much for working with us. We're looking forward to hearing your feedback. Feel free to let us know if you need anything. Best, A&M team. So what this is, as I said, these folks wrote me and said, can we send you something? And I said, sure. I mean, I'll look at anything. I mean, why not, right? We're here to look at headphones. Looking at these are IEMs that go into either a phone or a tablet. Now, I have a dongle that will let me play them with my iPhone right here, but I can't do that easily right now. I don't have it. Everything's not prepared for that. So I'm going to start out with these guys, the big monsters, which are... They're over-ear, or they kind of look like on-ear to me. I don't know. Are these on-ear or are these over-ear? Let's see what it says. Oh, these are active noise-canceling wireless headphones. Okay. So let's take a look. Now, I've not had the greatest experiences with active noise-canceling headphones. I tend to just use passive noise canceling, like the customs from Ultimate Ears that I have. Those are passive. They cut about 25 dBs off the room sound, and they're really good for isolating sound. Now, this is an active set, which means there's some kind of battery probably on the inside that's going to cancel out the noise, but we'll have to see exactly what it is. Looking at the case here, get lost in the things that really matter with 40 hours of play and 45 hours of talk time with easy to find buttons. So it sounds like they've got a lot of battery life for whatever it is, and we'll find out if they charge or if they take cells or what's going on. But I'm going to start cutting this open, take a look at them. Just love the feel of fresh audio. And there we go. Okay, we've got a nice case. Very nice case. Very nice travel case. And I got to think that that's something that's kind of important if you're going to have a travel set of earphones. If you're going to use these on a plane, you want a nice case for them to sit in so they don't get all banged up and you've got a place to put them. We'll start taking a look at what's in the package. Are you ready? Here we go. And wow! Oh! Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at this set. This is like there's a machined circular pattern into the surface of these that, look what it does when it catches the light. That's really cool. These are very well made. The head pads feel premium, and I got to tell you, with Bose has always been known for their very good quality ear pads, and these are on that level. These feel like lambskin or something like that, if I had to guess. I don't know that much, and I do love that they have the left and the right inside. This is just like the Phoenix that we looked at last week, and I really appreciate the thought that goes into this. You're never fumbling around wondering which way do they go exactly. We've got some buttons here, and this is on the right ear cup. The left ear cup has noise canceling turning on NC. I'm going to assume that that's noise canceling. And then on the other side, on the right ear pad, you've got plus and minus, which is for a track, it looks like, and then it looks like a play, pause, and answer the phone. These do not take batteries, because I can see there's a USB connector right here. That's going to be for charging, no question. And then right here you've got a power button to turn it all on. So the USB-C connector will not only act as a charger, it appears, and this is without looking at the manual. I probably should, but who reads the manual? Do we really read the manuals at this point? I don't think so. Okay, so it's got USB-C, and then it looks like this will convert audio to a format off of a 3.5 connector. You can hook this up to any source and it will play. They feel pretty good. I gotta say, there's a nice cushiness to these that feel like a premium product, like something I would expect out of a Bose or something like that. And clearly, I'm assuming this company is going for the Bose market. What else would you go for if you're going to develop this type of headphone? And then your other obvious competitor would be the new Apple headphones, the AirPod Pro, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not going to own them. I could see myself wearing these on a plane and not feel like I was being kind of a douchey person. These look normal. So that's good. So step one is, are they comfortable? Well, they passed the comfort test. Step two would be the noise cancellation itself. And I'm going to put that on now. When you push the button, a voice comes on in your head and it says NC mode. And there is a frequency cut that I can hear when you turn that on. I can still hear the high whine of the fans in the room. So what it's cutting out is low, and that's presumably like jet noise, which you would want, I guess, if you're going on a plane. And on that regard, it does get it, but it's not getting so dead that I can't hear, hear my fingers snap. It's not getting so dead that it's like totally eliminating and isolating all sound coming at you. So beyond that, then I'm going to hook these up because we've tested the noise cancellation mode, which is important. And the next thing I would do is listen to the music off of these. And I'm going to wire these up rather than go Bluetooth. My purposes when I buy one of these is going to be, are they comfortable? Do they cancel the noise in the room as they say they do? And these did somewhat. And the next thing is do they have good sound quality? Because if it doesn't have sound quality, I'm going to go with a regular headphone, I think, or regular earbuds. And I'm assuming that this is going to be in the $150 range, maybe $200 range, $250 at the high end, but we'll see. We'll look it up in a bit. And I'm going to play some music here. And I'm going to start out with some Supertramp, and I'm going to go to School off of Crime of the Century. So interesting. If you want to listen in NC mode and you turn these on, it actually cuts the sound to the headphone. So I can't hear a thing right now, even though I've got music playing into the headphone. Now if I hit the NC mode off, the music comes back. Very interesting, and not the way I would expect it to work. Okay, listening to these. It's a very full sound. It's a solid V tuning, but there's a layer of clarity missing on these headphones technically. The whole top end is just muted. And the bass is there, it's extended, but it's booming. What I can't figure out is if you're going to have an NC mode and a noise canceling mode, why wouldn't you want it to be on when you're listening to your music? Like, isn't the point that you want to get the clearest music, the clearest audio fidelity possible? So it's kind of confusing to me that you turn the NC mode on and it cuts the sound to the headphone. Unless that's only a Bluetooth feature that you get the noise cancellation, in which case we're going to have to hook these up to a Bluetooth. Here we go. These sound better under Bluetooth than they did when I had them on the wire. I'd swear by it. The bass is still boomy, but the top end has cleared up significantly. And the NC mode craziness goes away under Bluetooth. I'm going to go over to Los Lobos Kiko and we're going to take a listen to an insane bass. Yeah. It's there's no detail in this bass at all. It's just bottom end booming away. But it's a little fun. You know, these are growing into me a little bit. The sound off the wire was not very good. The whole top end was cut. And when I put them onto Bluetooth, suddenly things cleared up a little bit. Like I got a little more clarity out of the top end. The bass is respectable. It's down there, but it's very much like a fun pair of headphones. It's just booming out tons of bass. Imaging is reasonable. Soundstage, meh. Let me go to Norah Jones. There's still a little bit of brightness that it is lacking. And they're not the fastest headphone on the planet. It's lacking detail. But they're better than I thought they'd be. Very interesting. I'm going to go to one other stable because I'm a little confused about what they're doing. Yeah, there's definitely a boomy bass. There's nothing, no way around that. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I do have it. I think I've got these. So what we're hearing here out of these is they are giving us noise cancellation of some degree, which is good because you want them to be doing something for what you're paying for, which would be the noise cancellation. But I also want them to deliver good sound. And what I would say is that the bass is omnipresent and booming. So that's not the best thing to my ears for it to be doing. So I wish that the bass was a little bit tighter. The treble extension is a little lacking. There's a clarity problem and there's a speed problem. These are very slow. So I'm assuming it's dynamic driver and you're getting some phase cancellation, things like that. But if you're interested in a wireless pair of headphones to take on a plane or to take with you, and you can answer phone calls with it because it's got the Bluetooth features, the sound is reasonable. I would say it's probably on a par with Bose or some of those, and it doesn't give you the kind of douchey Apple headphone look. And I like the design. I think the design is handsome. It's attractive, a little plasticky, and it's a little bit on the microphonic side. I don't like any headphone, especially a travel headphone, that when I tap on it, it resonates through the whole headphone. That really is a negative to me. I would like to see some deadening of the mechanism around the head, because you're going to be banging into things when you're traveling. You have a headrest. You can turn it on the side. There's a lot of opportunity to get that resonant noise involved. So that's going to be a negative for me. So what it's going to come down to for me is price, and I'm going to look these up now. And the price on these is $129. Now,
Nice.
for $129, these are a bargain. These are a good deal. If this is what you're looking for, if you're looking for, look, 40 hours of sound, they're claiming. Bluetooth capability, you can answer your phone with these and use it as a speakerphone. Passive, active, and environmental sound. That's a lot of features, and the build quality on these, other than a little bit of the plastic issue, the actual comfort and the finish on the headband and the ear pads is very nice. I wish they were a little more responsive in the LED department when it's flashing at me right now with the batteries are low, and maybe that's part of the problem. It's not lighting up everything the way it should because the batteries are low. But I did charge them a little bit before we started this game. I would say that these are a buy for me. Like if I were looking for this specific set of features, this would be a headphone that I would definitely consider. Because the sound quality is reasonable enough, but it does sound like a $100 pair of headphones. I mean, the bass is booming, the treble is muted a little bit. It's got a V shape. But it's not a great V shape. So I would love to see these, like them work on the sound quality on these a little bit, but the feature set and the value for the money is quite high. So I'm going to give a mixed review on these. They're for what they are, sure. If you're looking for a Bose type set of headphones, but you don't want to buy Bose, this is a good alternative. I would love to see these guys really hone in on the tuning on these. So I hope you enjoyed the look at the Strauss and Wagner 501s, as I'm calling them, and a shout out to Audio 46 and Strauss and Wagner, the company itself, for sending us this headphone for us to check out. I appreciate it, and I'll be sure to check out the in-ear too. I'm not going to do that today because I'm just not set up for it. And with that, I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing to the Director's Garage. I can tell you that there is a giveaway coming in our future. It's probably going to be at the 2,000 subs mark because we're closing in on that, and that's probably going to work out best for timing, but I'm still working out the details. Maybe it'll come sooner, who knows. But I think it's time, don't you, that we do something like this? Now, if you're subscribed, you won't miss the announcement, and shamelessly, it helps me out if you're subscribed. More subscriptions, more attention, more manufacturers like Strauss and Wagner and Audio 46 that want to work with us. Now up next I have the third part of the Audio 46 trilogy. Before we get into some sound checks and shootouts, we'll be doing a full sound check review of the iFi iDSD Diablo, the device that impressed me so much just a couple of episodes ago. We're going to review its many features, and I'll also show you how it differs from iFi's other DSD DAC amps. The Diablo is the flagship, and I want to know what makes it the best in their lineup. I also think I'm going to do something with the Kinera Norn before I send it back to Audio 46. I think after hearing some of the harshness in the upper mids, that if I pair that with a tube amp, things might take a swing for the better. And I think that if you get that upper mid-range tamed, that becomes a really interesting headphone. So I think I'm going to do a little bit on that somewhere. And coming soon-ish is the Mega Shootout, where the Focal Utopia will defend its title as the best overall open back against the Meze Empyrean, the Abyss Phi 1266, and the Stax 009s. Now that's a flagship death match that I can pretty much promise you at least one of those non-winning headphones will likely get sold because I have to make room for other stuff, and those four headphones with their amps, we're looking at around $34,000 worth of stuff, not to mention the Chord Hugo 2 and the M scaler that drives those amps. So really, we're looking at about a $40,000 shootout in our future. What is wrong with me?
Jeepers creepers!
That will be a major episode number. I doubt it's going to be like 58 or 59, and it's likely going to be like that 2000th sub celebration with the giveaway. Maybe we'll wind all that up into one mega episode. So that's all for now. Give us a thumbs up if you thought that the S&W 501 is the dream go-to road warrior headphone. Do the other thing if I just annoyed the living snot out of you, and I totally get your reaction either way. But I will see you before you know it.